Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. My name is Robert. Alright. NASCAR. NASCAR runs approximately 167 races a year under 8 series, anywhere across the United States from Canada to Mexico. Over recent years, we've seen a decline in fans, in ratings, in fans at the racetracks. Why? Well, a lot of sports have noticed a decline in attendance and a decline in ratings. People watch sports differently here in 2018. When you look at the ratings on NBC, Fox, I don't know if the ratings coincide with all the online stuff. When somebody's watching the different streaming services that carry, if you're watching, Fox Sports on the app, if you're watching Spectrum TV app, if you're watching whatever other app there is, the CBS app, whatever that carries these races, if that's including in the viewership. People's lives are different these days. People are out and about all day long. They watch stuff on the apps. What I think NASCAR should do, I got some different things to do with each series. I got some schedule changes here, and I kind of got my opinion on everything NASCAR should do to help the future. First and foremost, what I think NASCAR should do is you have 36 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series races. You have 33 NASCAR Xfinity Series races. You have 23 Camping World Truck Series races, which next year will become the Gander Outdoor Truck Series, which Camping World owns Gander Outdoor. You have 14 K&N Pro Series East and 14 West races. You have 16 Whelen Modified Tour races. You have 13 NASCAR Xfinity Series, which is the Canadian series of NASCAR. You have 12 NASCAR Peak Mexico Series races. You also have 6 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, 6 races NASCAR holds in Europe. 167 races total. Create a NASCAR network. You could have it along the lines of any other streaming service out there, such as Netflix, Hulu. The WWE Network is the one that mainly comes to mind. As everyone knows, I'm a huge wrestling fan. WWE Network has everything from the past to the future on the network. It's $9.99 a month. I mean, you could charge whatever you wanted to with it. You could charge $7.99, $6.99, $8.99, whatever. Netflix is $10.99. And then you could set it up where, you have your Monster Energy, Xfinity, Camping World Truck Series, K&N, Whelen, Xfinity, Peak, etc. They can be your main sponsors of it. It's going to give them another format to sponsor. It's going to give your fans another format to watch your races. I know they're in year 4 of the 10-year contract. Is work with the networks and say, okay, look, we want to create this, blah, blah, blah. Maybe have it where you can't run all races live on the network, but maybe you run them like a 4 or 5 day delay. Well, as that race is running on delay, say it's the Monster Energy Cup Series race. If it's running on Thursday, for instance. People that get to watch it on a weekend can watch it on Thursday. You have all your sponsors that you have the cuts for the commercials already. And if you ever watch things on demand, you know where the cuts are. Use that cut for a small Monster Energy Cup commercial. A Coca-Cola commercial, who owns Monster. A Xfinity commercial, a Gander Outdoor commercial, use your sponsors now to sponsor, little cuts in there. That way you could also run more of your K&N Series races. Because here's what's going on with K&N Series, at least in my view. You get online, you see all the social media, you see who wins these races before they're aired on tape delay. ARCA, NASCAR recently bought the ARCA Series. You see the winners of these races online before you're able to watch them. Personally, I can't watch a race, a game, or whatever if I know who won. Same as a wrestling match. I can't watch it and legit rate it or watch it and enjoy it knowing who won. So create your NASCAR network, $7.99 a month, $8.99 a month, etc. You run your Lower series races, live if you want. Do what you want with those because they're not on national television. Your big 3 series, run them on a 4-day delay or 5-day delay. Work with your networks. See what they're willing to, wanting to do. Get the history of NASCAR on there. Have one so if somebody wants to go back and watch the 1983 Daytona 500, they can't. They're going to pay for it. There's another revenue source. Boom. Now, when it comes to the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, right now, when the Cup Series guys go race the Truck Series, they're limited to what? 5 races, 7 in the Xfinity Series. So if you have a dozen Cup guys in the Truck Series, and they finish 1 through 10 in the playoff, each stage, no playoff points go to the Truck guys. Here's what you do. Let the Cup guys go race their 5 truck races a year. The top 10 for each stage is based on your top 10 regular drivers. So when the drivers each year, they have to declare, okay, I'm running for the Truck Championship, I'm running for the Xfinity or Cup, whatever. When you declare, I'm running for the Truck Series Championship, you're considered a Truck Series regular. You can only run for 1 title a year. It's already a current rule. So, of those Truck Series regulars, the top 10 of them, it may be 11th through 20th in the field, because Cup guys are 1 through 10, but the top 10 Truck Series guys gets 10, 9, 8 on down to the stage points. Now, each stage, if the stage is won by a Cup or Xfinity guy, the top finishing Truck Series regular gets a playoff point. When it comes to the win, if a Cup guy, a non-Truck Series guy wins the Truck Series race, normally if a Truck Series guy wins, he gets 5 bonus points. So if a non-series regular wins, the highest finishing truck team or the regular truck driver gets 1 playoff point. So that way you still have the playoff points. You still have the playoff points based on the drivers, but then you're still rewarding the Cup guys. They're not taken away from the truck guys when it comes to points. They just can go out there and win and race against them. The same way in the Xfinity Series. Top 10 Xfinity Series guys gets the playoff points, 10 through 1, versus there being, say the winner is a Cup guy, the second place is Xfinity, so he gets 9, and then 7th place is the next Xfinity guy, he gets 3. Just do the top 10 Xfinity guys, 10 through 1. Same way with the playoff points and everything. And the Cup guys, Truck Series guys, they get a max of 7 races. Now, there is a few scheduling changes I would make. I think you need to fall back on your big races more. We know President's Day weekend in February, that's Daytona. Memorial Day weekend, that's Charlotte. July 4th, that's Daytona. Labor Day, that's Darlington. Those are the staples. Those are what NASCAR has banked on before. Labor Day weekend, Darlington. Have that in your regular season for all 3 series. I know you're like, what? Yeah. Have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Darlington, Labor Day weekend, to end the regular season for all 3 series. Not only would that put more on Darlington, because it is the Darlington Southern 500, you got playoffs on the line, you can pack that place. So in order to do that, you would have to do a little maneuvering of the schedule to get that to work. There is one other maneuvering in the schedule that I would like to see NASCAR do, is let's do a mega weekend. Let's take a weekend, go to a track, and have the Modified Series, the K&N Series, the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series, one mega weekend. Where do you do this at? What is one track that the Modified Series, the K&N Series, Truck Series, Xfinity Series, all race at? You would have to add it to the Cup Series schedule, but there's a way to do that easily and not really take anything away from anybody. Iowa Speedway. You take a race away from Michigan, owned by the same NASCAR owns both tracks. I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's an International Speedway Corp. I know the same one. It's either ICS or Wheeler, whatever the hell the name of owns Charlotte. It's the same company that owns Michigan and Iowa. Taking Michigan race away. Michigan hasn't been drawing that well anyway. You give them one race like you do with California. You have a mega weekend. You do that first weekend in June. That way you have coming off your Memorial Day in Charlotte. You have your mega weekend at Iowa. Obviously the Cup race is on Sunday. Saturday, you easily could hold 2 races. You could hold the Xfinity race and then the K&N race, for instance. On Friday, you hold the truck race. Thursday, you do the modified tour race. So you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You've got 4 days, 5 races. You have qualifying, practice, and everything else. So you get it's 30,000 people on that. It's a mega weekend. Everybody's there. So that could be a weekend if the Cup guys want to go do a modified race or a K&N race or whatever. Boom, it's all right there. So you would move the Michigan race to Iowa to do that. You move the Indy race, which this year ends the regular season. You move Indy to the week before the 600. So Indianapolis would have the Brickyard 400 1 week before the Indy 500. I know that's going to blow people away, but hold on. The thought on that is people come into Indy for a week or 2, 10 days for the Indy 500 to watch qualifying, practicing, etc. You throw the Cup race the Sunday before, how many people plan their vacation for Indianapolis? They come into town on Saturday. Cup race is Sunday. You have Corporation Day on Thursday. Bam, bam, bam. The 600s the 500s on Sunday. You have 7 days. You're in Indianapolis if you want to. If you're a mega fan, taking 2 races. So you're doing that the week before Charlotte. Okay, what do you do with the All-Star race? I don't think the All-Star race needs its own weekend. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. You combine it with the 600 weekend. So you have the truck race on Friday night. Saturday day, you have the Xfinity race. Saturday night, under the lights, do your Winston Open, your Open race, and then your All-Star race. It's in Charlotte, so it's not like it's a lone drive for the haulers to go get cars and bring them back if they need to. If you're a team like Furniture Row, maybe you bring 2 haulers. Maybe you bring a hauler just for the I keep calling it the Winston because it's what it's been called for years. But for the All-Star race, and you have your hauler there for the race. You get cars from Joe Gibbs anyway, so it's like they're not far. So you just do all that in another mega weekend. So you have basically 2 mega weekends. You have the All-Star race, the 600, and the next weekend you go to Iowa for mega weekend. So you move the first weekend in June. So it's K&N, Modified, Truck, Xfinity, Cup Series, 4 days, 5 races. Coming up. I think doing little changes to the schedule like that would bring, get your fans more excited. Darlington's big anyway, but make Darlington in the freaking regular season? Whew. And right now, when it comes to the tracks that all 3 series race on, we have Daytona, Atlanta, Vegas, I want Iowa, Charlotte, Bristol, Darlington, and then in the playoffs, Vegas, Texas, Phoenix, and Homestead. You end your regular season at Darlington for all 3 series. You end your playoffs at Homestead, all 3 series. You already do that now. You begin your playoffs at either Vegas or Homestead. Every other year you rotate. So 1 year, Vegas begins the playoffs, Homestead ends the playoffs. The next year, Homestead begins the playoffs, Vegas ends the playoffs. I just think they need to do that. This is how I feel. I've been an avid NASCAR fan since 1986. I want to see NASCAR grow. I want to see NASCAR flourish. I know there's talk of some of the sponsors leaving, other sponsors coming in. There's rumor of Monster not being around 2019, 2020, and NASCAR going without a title sponsor. I don't think, to the level where NASCAR is, they need to try to go without a title sponsor. If they were to, there's been rumors of going back to the Grand National name. No, you don't do that. I don't believe you do that, because when I hear, as a fan since '86, when I hear Grand National, think of the Xfinity series now, the old Busch Grand National series. Grand National is what it was called before RJ Reynolds got in. NASCAR's had a title sponsor since 1972. Whatever, so you can get $10 million to be your title sponsor. Maybe you get $3 million for a Monster or whoever to be your title sponsor. Do the NASCAR network. Charge, I would probably pay, $7.99, $8.99 to know that I get every race in NASCAR of all the series. That I get the history of NASCAR that I can go back and watch. I want to be able to go back and watch the 1988 Daytona 500. I want to go back and watch the 2001 Atlanta race. I want to go back and watch the 2001 Daytona 500. I want to go back and watch the 1992 Atlanta Journal 500, which is one of the, is now looking back on it 25 years later, one of the most historic NASCAR races ever. 5 guys going for a title. You have a car owner, driver, underdog win the title. The final race of the King. The first race of the Prince. Jeff Gordon. So yeah, there's so many historic things that you could do with that network. And to fill in during the weekly shows, you have the NASCAR XM satellite radio. You could have those guys doing a show not only for satellite radio, but for the NASCAR network. You have enough personalities out there, you can make shows, create shows, just like the WWE did with the WWE network. And I use that as an example because that's what I know and that's what I watch a lot of. And it's kind of the same type of format. So that's what I feel with NASCAR NASCAR, the future is now. These are things that I can see NASCAR, in my eyes, should implement in the next couple of years. Obviously, the 2019 schedule is already out, so there's no change in that. For 2020, get the mega race in Iowa. Move Indy to the week before. You have to talk to, obviously, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, see what their thoughts on that is. But you could also do a package deal where you come in on Saturday, so you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have 9 days, technically 9 nights, hotel. 10 days, let's go with 10. You work out something with the hotels in the area, with NASCAR, with IndyCar series. Do a package deal. 10 night hotel stay, ticket for X amount price. I think people would do it. I think they would. I think people could plan their lives around that. Iowa, June, first weekend in June. Even do Father's Day weekend. But I know NASCAR is typically off on Father's Day weekend. That's why I say do the first weekend in June, so that way people can put on their calendars, you know what? First weekend in June, I'm going to Iowa. Kids are out of school. I plan my vacation for taking a vacation day, Thursday, Friday, Monday. I go spend 4 days in Iowa taking 5 races to see some of the greatest NASCAR there is. You could even do something, first part of the year, is create another mega weekend in January, kind of like the old Heat series when they had the Copper World Classic and all that. Work something with that, with the K&N series and the Truck series. Do it, in January in Phoenix, and that way it gives people that just taste of NASCAR, and then boom. You don't have to start all the Truck series in Daytona like you do. Have them start a couple weeks before that. Get with the Copper World Classic there in Phoenix and do something with the K&N series and then the Truck series. And you would get Cup drivers there because they're not doing nothing right now. So look at things to make these big weekends for people to go, whoa, I want to go to this. Make it a must-see event. Make it whatever. Make it a huge event. All right, that will wrap up my NASCAR. The future is now. My thoughts on where NASCAR should go. If you have any thoughts, please leave comments below. I want to hear them. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports showing content. Make sure you check out the Camping World Truck Series playoff preview, and along with a preview of all 7 Truck Series races during the playoffs. Check out the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs when I get it up, and the Cup Series playoff preview as I get it up. NCAA college football starts soon, NFL starts soon. All of that here on Rubber Sports Show, along with pro wrestling. So a lot of videos in the next, to the end of the year. So, all right. Thanks for watching.